social and political commentary from a Christian male perspective.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and now there's only one. All right, we're back for the great POOKIE escape. we 6 weeks in. I know I had kind of forgotten about it, truth be told. I checked every day, but I figured the news, they weren't reporting on it, so maybe they just gave up on the guys. But needless to say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, they got them. Hold on, I got a meme for that. Hold on, I got a meme for that. I think I do, at least. I do. I don't like it's a little bit. Okay, here it comes.
Got him. We got him.
All right, that's what they're saying in New Orleans today, ladies and gentlemen, because they got one. They got one. I have to say, though, I didn't think this was going to be the one they caught. I just got a text message. Shout out to a fantastic contributor to the channel. Let's go to Marshall the plug. Did I beat Marshall? Am I scooping Marshall, ladies and gentlemen? I think I'm scooping you, Marshall. I think I'm scooping you, man. So I got a text message saying that the case was on. I mean, that they found somebody. I'm in the middle of doing a video for tomorrow, editing the video. And I said, okay, let me check it out. I did not expect this to be the one they caught. I did not. But it was kind of like a coin toss. I think both of them are definitely unequivocally the hide and go seek champions of New Orleans for sure. Let's go. Let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for jumping into the best live chat on the internet. I really appreciate y'all rocking with me. Oh, you sent it? Oh, I haven't checked my email. Darn it. I totally forgot about my email. Marshall, I might end up giving you my phone number, man. There's emails in here. There's emails for days. Yes, ladies. Oh, wow. Wow, Marshall. Wow. My guy. I'm sorry. I was over here doing work, man. I'm over here trying to do. Okay, needless to say, Marshall has sent me. So Marshall did. When we see the first one was at 5:30. Yes, Marshall has. Dude, what was I doing? You should have called me, man. He sent me a message at 5:17. Marshall, you should have called, brother. I need to give you my phone number so you can text me, because I was in the living room talking to my wife at that time, and I did not realize, and I didn't look at it. All right. Well, anyway, let's get at it. Yes, I think that's what I have. I think I have the presser. I think I got the police press conference. Yes. Okay. So I apologize. I did not scoop Marshall. Marshall unequivocally, unfailingly has been the leader of the pack. So let's bring this in. Let's talk about it, gentlemen and ladies. Let's go. Thank y'all so much for rocking with us. Please make sure you hit that like button when you jump into the best live chat on the internet. Let's go.
A citizen, and that alone speaks volumes to her.
Wait, hold on.
A citizen, and that alone speaks volumes to her legitimacy of relationships that matter. So when the community believes and trusts their police departments and their law enforcement agencies, they work cooperatively. And so she will speak directly to that situation. I want to thank all of our partners who are present, because truly they were all out there as a team. So from ATF to FBI to our own police department, our violent offender warrant squad, our own violent crimes team that is a specialty team that we call VCATE, of course, our partners in the state police, obviously our partners with the sheriff and the Orleans Sheriff's Office, and also our U.S. Marshal is going to speak to you in a minute. I know HSI is present, and also Jefferson Parish has always been a great partner to us. So many, many thanks to you. We still have one more. We have Groves. And so Groves knows that we are going to capture you. You will be taken into custody, but you still have the option to peacefully turn yourself in. And we will make an appeal to you to do so. All of these captures have been able to be done peacefully, and that is also the end of the game. We don't want anyone hurt, not our own officers, and certainly not Mr. Groves. So The opportunity is there at any time to turn yourself in. And as I had spoken to the fact a couple of weeks ago, we do have the public defender is ready to meet you and to be with you from the very moment you choose to turn yourself in. And then Darlene, who's the face of Crime Stoppers, will also have the opportunity to make her appeal and to give the Crime Stoppers number. So with that, I am going to go ahead and turn this over to our U.S. Marshal for our area. This is going to be Chief Walter Ivy. And then after Chief Ivy, I know that Director Harper will call people to the podium. And then probably after him will be from our Colonel Robert Hodges. So Chief Ivy, please come to the podium and share with you about the event of today.
Good afternoon. I'm Walter Martin. I'm the Chief Deputy U.S. Marshal here in New Orleans, the Eastern District of Louisiana. Thank you all for coming. I want to start by thanking the men and women who have been working tirelessly to not only arrest Mr. Massey, but the previous fugitives, as well as those that have helped in Mr. Massey and the others evade the capture and who have brought the others into custody. And I also want to thank the men and women who are working hard to find Mr. Groves. They will continue to work hard. As the chief said, we'd appreciate if Mr. Groves turns himself in, but at the same time, we're not going to stop. We're going to continue on. And just like we found Mr. Massey today, we will find Mr. Groves. We'll continue our efforts. We are thankful too that Mr. Massey came out and there was no problems today. He was arrested around 3:30 this afternoon here in New Orleans.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Colonel Hodges.
Good evening, everyone. Colonel Robert Hodges, Superintendent, Louisiana State Police. As everyone knows, today marks the 6th week of the escape, and it's through the partnership of the men and women and the leaders behind me and those who are not present but still working, as Chief Ivy stated, that we owe the credit to. This is truly has been from day one a joint operation. Although led by Louisiana State Police, our federal partners, the FBI, the ATF, Homeland Security Investigations, the U.S. Marshals, Secret Service, as well as our local partners, New Orleans Police Department, the Orleans Sheriff's Office, the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office, and our other state agencies, probation and parole, many of those, as well as our Department of Corrections. Everyone has really given an incredible amount of resources. It's through our resilience and, more importantly, our collaboration is why we were able to bring Mr. Massey into custody today. But let's not lose sight. One still remains Derek Groves, and without the public's help, I appeal to everyone to please reach out, contact Crime Stoppers, contact the ATF or the FBI. The collective reward remains at $50,000 for that fugitive. And it's imperative for the safety of this community and all of Louisiana that you reach out to us. Those who have continued to help and aid, which includes Antoine Massey, those will also be brought to justice. As I've said previously, there are consequences for your actions. And when you help and aid and assist those to remain at large as a risk to the community, you will be charged accordingly. We look forward to the opportunity and the day when Mr. Groves is taken into custody. We would like it to be peacefully. We encourage him and anyone who knows him to reach out to any of the agencies that you see here. You can remain anonymous, but we need your help. And collectively, we will not rest, even if it takes another 6 days or another 6 weeks, until the last fugitive is in custody. Thank you.
Okay. HSI representative.
So I just want to, I guess, reiterate our commitment to our partners here, to public safety here, for the community in New Orleans. We're all very excited that Antoine Massey's in custody now, and we'll continue working alongside each of you to ensure that we bring Groves to custody too. Thank you.
Sheriff Hudson.
Okay, good afternoon. I am grateful to stand here with our law enforcement partners. Chief Kirkpatrick and I shared a moment this afternoon when she called me to talk about the press conference, just about the relief about having Antoine Massey into custody.
Y'all, this one right here, I think we need to keep our eyes on Sheriff Hudson. She's the one that's catching all the smoke for this, for these 10 inmates escaping, for however long it took to get them, the botched investigation. I think if they catch Groves this weekend, it's on and popping. They're going to be on her bumper she's not going to run for sheriff again, in my opinion. But this is incredible. So I did not think they was going to catch Antoine.
9 of 10 escapees. We've got one more to go. Like all of our law enforcement partners, I call on Derek Rose to do the right thing and turn himself in. This is a major step forward in our efforts to restore order and accountability after this serious incident. I want to thank our community for reaching out to me personally to provide the information directly leading to Antoine Massey's capture. As soon as I received this information, I reached out to our detectives who are a liaison to the state police, the Attorney General, the NOPD, and the United States Marshals Task Force. They've set the actions in motion, which led to his capture. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to all of the folks up here and our partners up here. I have to give a special thanks to our deputies, of course, who coordinated and worked together to make this happen. But we're grateful to this community, as both Chief and the Colonel both said. Together, we made this happen, and I'm grateful. I also want our community to know that OPSO continues to harden and modernize the facility. That is well underway. We're installing new razor wire, tightening physical barriers, upgrading locking mechanisms. These all play an important role in the safety of our residents, staff, and the entire community. These are just the first steps in a very urgent plan, and we can't do it alone, and we call on all of our partners to help make sure that the investment needed here is done. So again, thank you all for your hard work and your partnership, and we look forward to getting Mr. Groves in custody.
Okay, we're gonna take some questions. Trying to pull this up with you.
Hi, sorry, I'm back here and I'm short. So in the Holly Grove area, we were able to talk to the owner of the property who said it was an Airbnb. Do we know if this one was he assisted in renting that Airbnb?
So let's have the Colonel speak to that.
So right now, obviously, we're still in, questioning Mr. Massey and others who were aiding and assisting him. And we don't have any comment regarding specific details, but it's pretty obvious over the last 6 weeks to remain a fugitive that long. He had assistance, he had help. Whether or not it was someone helped him with the Airbnb, we would have to think yes, but who and all those things will be determined later. And I would just encourage the public, you think you're helping your family members and your friends, but you're not. You're putting everyone else at risk for selfish reasons, and please do not continue to do that with our remaining fugitive, Derek Groves, and those who assisted Mr. Massey will have consequences for their actions. Let's say.
Can y'all take us through the timeline of how long it was from when you got the tip to when he was recaptured?
Okay, so I think, Sheriff, if you can do the timeline and then kick in here, because it occurred in our city, obviously. So please go ahead and explain how you got the tip.
I'm not going to get into the details of how I got it. Of course, we don't. This is we're grateful to our partners at Crime Stoppers, where you can be anonymous in being able to come forward. But this all started between 10 and 11 this morning, culminating in his arrest at 3:30.
Okay, y'all. I don't know what that noise is, but it sounded like an air conditioner came on or something crazy. They must have turned on some microphone that's catching some weird sounds. I just want to bring this in here. Y'all, if where the jail is, this is where the jail is. This is the New Orleans Parish Jail right here. I just put in Holly Grove. I don't know if that's a street or if you could let me know, Marshall, is that a street or what? Because Holly Grove Street is only 3.6 miles away from the jail. He got caught 3.6 miles away. If that was the case, I'm sorry, 2.4. Please forgive me, 2.4 miles away. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he at least got further than that. He probably did, but that might have been where he was staying for the time being. All right, let's bring this back in, y'all. Shout out to you all. Thank you so much to everybody who's already jumped into the best live chat on the internet. Here we go. Let's finish this up. I apologize for that buzzing sound.
So as far as the special operations of U.S. Marshals, I happened to be at the Special Operations Division complex when they were getting ready to move to that location. So I would say it took no more than an hour from them being activated with this capture.
Channel 6.
With your folks still at large, other inmates captured, does it still indicate that Joel Ferguson was the leader of the original escape?
I would just say that Groves, along with the other 9, all had help. And we know that, and they continue to have help. And we'll just leave it at that. As far as who was the leader in the escape, I think they all 10 wanted to get out on their own. And they would do anything to get out. And whatever that led to is where we are today. But once again, every one of them had some type of assistance throughout the process, especially once they left the facility.
26.
I think the question out there was really wanting to go now is, where's Groves? Do we have a lead on his location now? Do we have at least a target on him? Or is it a shot in the dark at this point?
But just as we said in previous conferences, we have many investigative tools and technology and a lot of leads that come in. All the tips that the public brings to us are investigated to the fullest. Sometimes we think we're incredibly close, and then we get to a residence, an apartment, a condominium, or a home, and they've just moved because they have help. We're still confident, just as we were about 2 or 3 weeks ago when we had a conference when we were at 8, and we went from 5 to, and then 3 on, it was Memorial Day, if y'all recall, 1 in Baton Rouge and 2 in Texas. We still believe today that we will find these, and it's due to the resilience of law enforcement. It's a lot of good police work coupled with investigative tools and technology and the state-of-the-art equipment that we use to help us. And, we can't do it alone. We need the court's help. I failed to mention earlier, our Eastern District of Louisiana, our U.S. Attorney's Office is very helpful to us, as well as all our judicial districts in and around the state that provide us the assistance and grant and honor our requests for state or federal warrants, which helps further these cases. They take time, they take patience, and we just ask the public to continue to trust law enforcement, and that we will eventually locate Mr. Groves.
Okay. Thank you all for coming out. We appreciate
Wait,
it.
I have one more question.
Okay, we'll wrap it up.
Reese, I have a question. Did the tip come directly to the sheriff, or did it come through Crime Stoppers? I'm sorry, can you just clarify that a little bit?
Yeah, it came directly to me.
Okay, so did they just call you up?
I'm not going to give any information about that.
Did they
No.
get the $50,000?
I'm sorry.
Did they get the $50,000 reward?
I'm not involved in.
Look, just so everybody understands, the reward remains $50,000. Of course, it's a combination through Crime Stoppers, through ATF and FBI. And certainly if they reach out to one of those hotlines, those tip lines, they are eligible for that reward. But I don't want to go into the details. I don't think we just standing right there outside the residence and handing out a check. It remains anonymous, and Crime Stoppers does an incredible job. Darlene and her team and all those who take the calls round the clock. And it is available. I don't know, the process, but I'm certain in days to come if they had called Crime Stoppers, but I'm gonna leave it to Darlene. Come on.
Darlene, you can share the number with people because we are vetting every tip through Crime Stoppers. And it's about how many now?
We've had over probably now 1,200 original tips and several thousand that are follow-ups.
Yeah.
And I can only speak to the fact that we did receive a tip today, which I understood led to the arrest of Mr. Massey. So we'll be working with our partners, the U.S. Marshals, and on the Crime Stoppers portion. And if that is the qualifying tip, again, our tips are anonymous. So we don't know who they might have spoke to or where they came from. It is an anonymous tip. We don't ask those questions. As far as the FBI's reward process, we will certainly point them to that direction so that they can then work through that process for the additional $20,000. And it's the number, it's 822-1111, or go online to crimestoppersgno.org. And yes, we encourage anyone with information on Mr. Groves. Y'all have been calling. We're getting tips daily on the 2 inmates. Continue. And thank you to law enforcement. Incredible work.
$50,000 is life-changing for a lot of people. It'd be life-changing for me. So let's make sure.
I don't know why, but she does not sound confident at all. I just never hear her voice and get this idea of a confident person. It sounds bad, but I just can't.
Make sure that people understand that you have information and it leads to an arrest like today. That's $50,000 minimum that we've already committed to. Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah, and can you speak a little bit more to those Instagram posts that Massey allegedly made, is that him making the post? Is that someone else? Will those lead to any arrests?
Good question.
Go ahead and speak to it. It's still under
Look,
investigation.
we have a lot of posts, a lot of social media, as y'all know, and some things are dated. Everything that we see online, our Fusion Center, our law enforcement partners, it's vetted, it's collaborated. But keep in mind, by the time you see it, someone else has already seen it. You don't know the exact time and date. You don't, but we do. And so just like when they move from home to home or neighborhood to neighborhood throughout the city or throughout the state, they're constantly moving. So it's actionable intelligence, and it's only good for a short amount of time. So to answer your question, we confirm all of the social media posts, regardless of the platform. We utilize that as an investigative lead. And then if we can move further that, we do. And I think sometimes it helps us, but sometimes it really just excites the public, and maybe it's a good piece for you all. But I just want to close with this. I know it's going to be asked, but I'll go ahead and voice it to you all. Mr. Massey, once we finish processing him and bringing him back to the Orleans Parish Jail and doing the booking, he will be relocated to the Angola, to our state prison, and it will be flown there sometime later this evening. Thank you.
All right, thank you all for coming out. Let's make a hole over here, please.
Make a hole, they say. Make a hole.
All right, just to recap, this is a New Orleans Police Department and joint press conference with a number of different law enforcement agencies talking about and giving details about the arrest of Antoine Massey. He's one of the 10 inmates who escaped from Orleans Justice Center. If you're just joining us, this happened 6 weeks ago now. 10 inmates escaped, and now Antoine Massey is back in custody. And we learned quite a few new details out of this press conference, many of those coming from both the NOPD and the Louisiana State Police, who've been integral in this investigation. But one of the things that we learned is that they do anticipate making more arrests in this situation.
Yeah,
they do anticipate more helpers getting arrested.
U.S. Marshals made a comment, and this is a comment that we were making off camera as they were listening to this press conference. The fact that you can't remain on the run for 6 weeks without receiving any sort of assistance. And we know that there were maybe 1 or 2 people that were arrested early on in this investigation, but I believe that there may be more.
But I think the total number of people arrested for helping the inmates in some form or another was 16.
Right.
The state police and U.S. Marshals hinted that there would be obviously the debriefing of Antoine Massey.
There's going to be about 25 people arrested for this easily. Because whoever got, if this dude was in an Airbnb, how boneheaded do you need to be to have this dude in an Airbnb? Who booked it? They're gonna find out who booked it. They're gonna throw them in jail. They're gonna throw their baby mama in jail. They're gonna put their dog washer in jail. The guy at Kroger that bagged his groceries is going. Everybody going. They're gonna, man, how, you gotta be kidding. That's just like the Uber thing. Like, why would you schedule an Uber? Because that's gonna put all of your information out there for them to know and go after. That has got to be some high level boneheadedness. But okay, let's get done. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much. So as you see on the screen, jumping into the best live channel on the internet, they caught Antoine Massey. I thought Antoine Massey was going to be the one that stayed out, but needless to say, he's the last one that had something to lose, if you will. Groves, he's in jail. He's in jail. Once he gets in there, he's never coming back out. I fear that he might be the one that adds a little bit of a spice, if you will, to his arrest, if there's an arrest at all. But hopefully it doesn't go that way.
Massey and possible further arrests. Now, what we almost can 100% say for certain is that he did get help. You can't stay out for 6 weeks with a $50,000 reward, very visible tattoos on your face, without someone bringing you food, moving you from location to location. We know he's been to at least a couple, right? And when the state police and U.S. Marshals indicates that they are going to go after everybody involved, you can rest assured that's going to happen. Now, whether that leads to a name and an arrest for an accomplice, yet to be seen, but they've done it 16 times. And mind you, we've seen the bail set in those cases at $1 million and higher.
It has
Very,
been high.
very
And
high bills.
we've been talking up here about this Airbnb situation because Amelia Strahan interviewed the owner of the property where Massey was taken into custody a little while ago. That owner was completely shocked that Massey was in the property. It's a duplex that's in the Holly Grove neighborhood on Strollett Street. But state police saying there that they're going to be looking into how Massey wound up in that Airbnb because half of that Airbnb was being rented, according to the property owner, and Antoine Massey may have been in the other side.
Yeah, they also mentioned the fact that moving him around has been happening in the city. So there may be another arrest because the initial social media post, which we would not have even known he was still in the city if he had not posted on social media, claiming his innocence, claiming that he was let out of jail versus escaping from jail and trying to proclaim that he had his charges pending up against him. But if in that video, you saw that there was a different residence. He was inside and he gave clear details of the kitchen, which someone obviously could see and they could immediately recognize. When police arrived there, they found his clothing. So he has someone that is taxiing him from place to place and giving him a place to stay. But I wonder how they get, after they do the debrief with him, I wonder how much of that information they're going to get.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. If I own that Airbnb and I have a kitchen decor above the sink that says kitchen in it that looks like that, and I see this video, I'm going to say, wait a second, that's my Airbnb.
Right.
That's my property where this man is. So
but that was a cousin. Wasn't
I
that a
assume that
family
people
member?
have been piecing those things together as this.
Wasn't that a family member though? Wasn't that a family member's home? And they said that the family member was sleeping when he recorded that video. Let me see real quick. The infamous video with the right here. What I thought there was a family member. It wasn't an Airbnb because it was a family member that they found. They got in to see that the clothes that he was wearing were folded up in there. So, yeah, I think these newscasters might be adding some confusion to the story. But let's go.
They found his clothing. So he has someone that is taxiing him from place to place and giving him a place to stay. But I wonder how they get, after they do the debrief with him, I wonder how much of that information they're going to get.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. If I own that Airbnb and I have a kitchen decor above the sink that says kitchen in it that looks like that, and I see this video, I'm going to say, wait a second, that's my Airbnb.
Right.
That's my property where this man is. So I assume that people have been piecing those things together as this investigation has unfolded.
Oh, he left a lot of breadcrumbs, honestly.
Yeah.
We talked about the charges a little bit earlier. He's not facing any of the more, I guess, the manslaughter charges, the murder charges, the same charges that Derek Groves is facing, but he is charged with sexual assault and with domestic violence. So now that he's being taken in and he'll be taken to Angola, where does he stand now?
Well, obviously, those charges never went away. He still has to face them. When he posted that social media video, he proclaimed his innocence to those previous charges. And, interestingly, he seemed to want the opportunity to defend himself, which is hard to do when you're on the run, a wanted fugitive. So those will be continuing. Some of those charges were in St. Tammany Parish. The interesting twist was that one of the people arrested for helping, one of the 16 arrested for helping the inmates, but one arrested for helping Antoine Massey was the former girlfriend of Antoine Massey, as described in court documents, who's also the victim in the alleged sexual assault, the charges that he was facing and why he was locked up in the first place.
As we know, those cases are very difficult. Yes. Domestic battery situations and domestic assault is an extremely difficult situation for everyone involved. So,
and particularly when you now have authorities making the allegation and arresting the ex-girlfriend and alleged victim.
Yes.
And she's, I believe, held on one of those high $1 million plus bails.
Oh my God.
So she continues to be locked up. So there are a lot of, twists and turns to Antoine Massey's case in particular. However, certainly not to make light of the gravity of those domestic violence charges against him, up to and including rape in St. Tammany. Yes. That's a domestic violence partner rape. Nevertheless, those carry steep penalties upon conviction. And so he's facing serious consequences. It will now be interesting. He was clearly somewhat talkative by posting on social media. seemed to have a story to tell, claiming his innocence, claiming he was let out, it wasn't an escape. Will he be that talkative now that he's being debriefed by law enforcement?
Well, I know right now the law enforcement is probably going to debrief him, and they just mentioned that they're going to do same process. They put them in the helicopter, fly him over to Angola so that he has no chance of escape again. But I am curious to see how these cases play out moving forward for each of them, because some of them face more severe, well, all of them face severe charges, but some of them obviously more deadly than others. So Antoine Massey, he's now there, but Derek Groves, that's the big question on where he is. And some people have turned in tips. We heard from Darlene Costanza, who says that there were a number of tips, 1,500 tips that had come in. And I was a little confused about this. And I hope that we can get some clarity. We had Sheriff Susan Hudson say that the tip came directly to her.
That's what I heard
too. And then
too.
there was Darlene Costanza, who says that the tip came to Crime Stoppers. So now the question was over the $50,000. I think that's where the confusion was at the end of the press conference, where people said, well, if that's the case, then where does this money go? Does this anonymous tipper get this money, or did it directly get a call? Did Susan Hudson get a call?
I mean, it also makes you wonder if Susan Hudson sent the tip to Crime Stoppers.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, you know what I mean? So Susan got the tip, sends the tip to Crime Stoppers and connects the dots. Maybe that's what happened. Or did it come directly to Crime Stoppers? Or did it come directly to Susan? I don't know.
It was indicated to me earlier that whoever made the call was eligible for the reward that was from the U.S. Marshal Service. We don't know the sequence, and maybe the caller was very determined that this gets to law enforcement, called Crime Stoppers as well as the sheriff. We don't know. That didn't get fully explained, but hopefully we can get the further details on that.
Around 3:30 this afternoon is when all of this went down. It seems as though law enforcement was in and they were out. And Amelia Strahan is over at that location where Antoine Massey was taken back into custody this afternoon. She's joining us live now with a quick update on what the scene is like there. Amelia?
Yeah, Katie, so we've actually been spending probably the last half hour talking to neighbors, and we just spoke to the next door neighbor, and he said that whenever the cars pulled up, they were unmarked. They looked like normal vehicles. So that may be part of why the scene looked a little, we said it looked dead whenever we got here. There weren't the cop cars, but what we're hearing from multiple neighbors is that is just kind of how the street looked when they got here as well. So it doesn't sound like it was a lot of activity. Now, something new that we've learned from speaking with the people on this street, again, we've mentioned it looks like a pretty quiet street. A lot of people that we've talked to have lived here for a while. They did say that at this property, they have seen cars coming early in the morning, say 2, 3 a.m. for the past few weeks. Now, we heard that from multiple neighbors. Of course, we don't know any details there. We heard from Ann Kirkpatrick. We know that the superintendent, Ann Kirkpatrick, that Antoine Massey did have help. To what extent, we don't know that yet, but they did say that there has been some kind of suspicious activity around this area for the past few weeks. Now, we spoke to the woman who owns this property. Now, she says this is an Airbnb. She says it is a 2-unit Airbnb. One of them was occupied at the time. And she said that she was shocked to find out that this happened at her property. She said that she had no idea. She was completely caught off guard. And she was actually not even home when the arrest was made. The police, she says, did not call her or notify her. She actually got the news from her next door neighbor. And whenever she got back, she said it was pretty quiet. So we're still learning more exactly about, what happened with this arrest today. We're learning more from neighbors as we walk up and down the block, but it definitely appears to be a quiet street. Again, we're on the 9400 block of Strollett Street here in Holly Grove, and we will keep you updated with any more updates that we get from police or from neighbors. But again, this is 6 weeks on the run, and Antoine Massey was captured about 1.5 miles away from Orleans Justice Center. So he did not get far, or he at least did not stay far away. So who helped? What kind of help he got? We've confirmed that he did receive some kind of assistance. And of course, we'll look forward to learning more from police about what that looks like. That leaves just Derek Groves left on the run, the final of the 10 inmates who escaped Orleans Justice Center last month. So we will let you know as we hear more from law enforcement here on the scene.
All right, Amelia, thank you so much for that update for us, and lots of questions still unanswered. I think police and law enforcement officers still have a lot of unanswered questions as well that they want to get to the bottom of as they start to question Antoine Massey.
Yeah, as they do that debrief. I know that right now some of the court cases for people who were arrested for assisting some of these escapees have begun. Where do they stand right now?
Well, we have them at various parish lockups, including Plaquemines Parish and St. Tammany.
He's not gonna say much.
They will.
All right. So they got Antoine. Who knew, man? Who would have thought it was gonna be Antoine? But I mean, praise God, they got one of them for sure. Now, I do have a couple pictures that Marshall the Plug sent to me. Let me pull these in. I was multitasking, and I don't know if I downloaded them. Oh, I did get it. All right, so there goes brother Antoine. He is wow. He's short. I mean, these officers do not look serious. They do not look like they are even remotely serious. Except for those guns. And those guns make them look a little serious. Let's take that back. All right, here's the other picture of that. Shout out to Marshall for making sure I had these. All right. Yeah. I kind of want to know more about this Airbnb. Like, how is he in an Airbnb? Is it not rented? Are you not renting? How are you renting one up front, but one in the back? I don't understand the floor plan. And I'm just kind of I don't understand the floor plan. Hey, everybody, and I'm from the tower at work, but I'm listening and told you guys he was still nearby. You did, Miss Independent. I just wonder, like, why would you, if he had gotten that far away, why didn't he? And mind you, his braids are fresh. Oh, they're going to be somebody going to jail. Them braids look definitely fresher than when he was left in jail. And of course, when he did that video, that's different. He gonna catch it, man. Somebody going to jail. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and tell somebody. I don't know who it is, but somebody need to hear this.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
I mean, there's a barber about to go to jail. There's somebody who rented that Airbnb. They about to go to jail. Whoever gave him this white V-neck, you about to go to jail. Everybody going to jail. All of them. Everybody. Let's bring this in. Let's go. Wait, did this wrong? Bang. There we go. Jail escapee Antoine Massey. Red capture Friday in New Orleans. I'm just surprised how close he was. I wonder if that's a thing. Like, if they get so far away. I mean, but he was gone so long. I mean, you're gone for 6 weeks and you're only 1.5 miles, 2 miles away from the jail. Man, that's got to suck. Oh, that's got to be, you got to be kicking yourself, man. And especially you had help. So they was clearly carting you around. Check this out. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
But we're going to begin with this new tonight. U.S. Marshals say they have recaptured one of the last 2 Louisiana lawmaker and his wife. He faced a judge in federal court today. His lawyer asked for the hearing to be continued to next week. He's facing state and federal charges, including murder.
What they got to do with anything?
And that violence does not court today. Door. And then he faced a judge in federal court today. His lawyer asked for the hearing to be continued to next week. Accused of attacking rally goers, arms offenses, Belter.
It was just playing. What happened? All right. Well, anyway, let's go and look at the article. Let's go. All right. We know that the jail escapee Antoine Massey was recaptured today. We know that. He was recaptured in the 9400 block of Strolles Street in Holly Grove area, authorities said. I wonder how far this is from the place that they found his clothes when he did that video. A Marshall's office official said that the arrest came after Crime Stoppers tip, but the Orleans Parish Sheriff Susan Hudson later said that the information leading to Massey's arrest was given to her directly by phone. That was confusing. I don't know why she said that. I hope whoever did gets something or gets that money, at least for that. But it just seemed confusing the way she said it. Massey was alone in the house when he was surrounded and surrendered to authorities, officials said. He peacefully gave up to law enforcement who surrounded the house, New Orleans police superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick said at a news conference. The arrest comes 6 weeks to the day since the escape of the 10 inmates from the Orleans Justice Center jail, which occurred shortly after midnight on the morning of May 16th. Wow. They've been out for a minute, man. Massey, 33, is the ninth escapee to be recaptured. Only four-time deleter Derek Groves remains at large. A $50,000 reward for information leading to each of the last escapees' arrests has been on the table for weeks. Groves knows we will capture you, Kirkpatrick said, but the opportunity is there to turn yourself in anytime. The public defender is ready to be there to be with you the moment you want to turn yourself in. Walter Martin, chief deputy of the U.S. Marshals, said Massey was arrested around 3:30. He vowed to search for Groves and will continue until the last escapee is apprehended. A woman who asked her name to be withheld arrived at the residence where Massey had been captured. She said that she was the owner of the property and that she kept it open as an Airbnb rental. Kept it open. What does that mean? And said that she had no idea that the escapee came to be hiding and how the escapee came to be hiding in the house. What does kept it open mean? That just sounds crazy town. Antoine Massey, and of course, this is Attorney General Merle. Antoine Massey has finally been captured in the Holly Grove area of New Orleans. He will now face additional charges for his role in the escape and will ensure that he will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Great work by all of our law enforcement partners who have, I don't know what the show, what can I do it? Show more. Okay, it jumped over to X, who have been working hard for the outcome. One more to go. Indeed it is. One more to go. That's crazy. Massey had resurfaced on social media on June 5th with an Instagram post in which he declared his innocence and pleaded for help from President Trump, Kim Kardashian, and several rappers. Massey is wanted in St. Tammany Parish on and kidnapping allegations and was jailed in Orleans Parish awaiting trial on counts of domestic abuse, battery involving strangulation, and the theft of a motor vehicle. Officials have said Massey has a history of 3 other escapes from custody dating to 2007. That's crazy. Colonel Robert Hodges, superintendent of the Louisiana State Police, again asked public's help in providing information that will lead to Groves' arrest. We just ask that the public to continue to trust law enforcement, and we will find Mr. Groves, Hodges said. Hodges said Massey would be processed in the Orleans Justice Center before being flown to Louisiana State Penitentiary at Angola later Friday night. Hudson said she could not go into detail on the phone call she received between 10 a.m. and 11 only that it was culminated in this afternoon's arrest. We've got one more to go, Hudson said. Like everyone else, I call upon Derek Groves to do the right thing and turn himself in. Crime Stopper CEO Darlene Kuzanza said that the organization has received about 1,200 original tips since May 16th jailbreak. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Grove is encouraged to call Crime Stoppers. All right. Pretty wild. Shout out to everybody. Thank y'all so much for joining the best live chat on the internet. Hopefully that was kind of cool. I am very happy indeed that you say right here, they're happy because of all of the overtime on there. Well, you know what? I can't even argue with you. You got them. They're probably happy about that overtime for sure. And it might be sad, like, oh man, I ain't gonna get no more overtime. So there's that. Well, less overtime because they got to get Derrick Groves. But yeah, they got him. They got one. And let's jump over to this comment section of the X comment because I think it's kind of funny. He didn't even leave town. LOL. This person said right here. How about addressing the things he was saying about the system? He's been 2 miles away from OPP, hard to find, hide, or flee to other states with face tats, I assume. He was up the street from the jail. Oh no. Free bro. How could a criminal with 3 face tattoos on his face evade capture so long? That's a great question. That's a good question. All right, real quick, we look at it. Send him to Alligator Alcatraz. Let's go. Shout out to Florida and Alligator Alcatraz, which is hilarious. All right, let's see. Thanks to his recommendation, my income doubled in a while. All right, that was it. Thank y'all so much for that. That was a good one, y'all. Well, we will keep our ears to the ground, as I told y'all. As soon as I catch Derrick, if they catch him, we'll just jump back in and do it again. So let me know what y'all think. Did y'all in the comments real quick? I got a question. I'll make a poll as well. Did you actually think who did you think was going to be caught? Real quick. Oh. All right. Here you go. I got a poll question going. All right. Yeah, he's on his way to Angola right now for sure. Yeah, I heard that sound going out too. I think it's okay now though. Green hearts in the chat. I thought Groves would be the last man standing. Really? Okay. I can't argue with you. He going straight to Angola. They'll learn their lesson. They say we've learned our lesson. He going straight there. Do not pass go. That's what the helicopter flight is for. That's why they like showing that helicopter flight. They said, look, we're about to get you up out of here, my guy. Really? So a lot of people believe that Groves is going to be the hide and go seek champion. Because most of y'all said Antoine. I guess, I felt like Antoine had the most help at one point, but also I think the last time we did an update, I kind of looked at it and said, I don't know, Antoine people talking too much. So further than Angola, I heard Angola is like escape proof. I could be wrong. I thought Angola was like escape proof. Now, hey, they can try him out over here at down here in Florida in Alligator Alcatraz. I got a video dropping tomorrow about that. Massey, the face tattoos will always give you away. Yeah, that's going to be hard to get over that. It's going to be hard to get past that for sure. You know what, Pookie? You know what? I got one for you. Don't you worry about it. I got one for you.
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
All right. I'm about to make that longer. Okay, so shout out to the plug Marshall just sent me another news update showing when they actually arrested him. So let's go and grab that one real quick. Let's get this out of the way. All right, here we go. All right, let's check this out. I haven't seen this yet. Shout out to Marshall.
Speak with the homeowner, who told me that it was so shocking that she got a phone call and she rushed over here. She said that her son was actually on the property a little earlier. So it's really hard to kind of put together that someone was actually on her property. But take a look at this video. We were able to obtain that video from a nearby homeowner. Shows what that scene looked like maybe an hour or so ago as several law enforcement agents were here on scene. Excuse me. With big guns, heavy police presence, K9 unit walking onto that property, trying to get MASSEY out of that house. And, 6 weeks to the date, this has been, all hands-on approach and effort from several law enforcement agencies to get the remaining two escapees back into custody. So now we have one still on the run. But that homeowner says that that she just rushed over here frantic, wondering what happened. And just to give you a little perspective here, the property where he was captured is actually two homes on the property. So we're not clear on which property MASSEY was in. She do tell me that there is a tenant that lived on the property, but they were not home at the time. She says she's still trying to learn more details from law enforcement agents. And I know you guys have been speaking with several people. We heard from the U.S. Marshals who said this was a joint effort. But I want to let you all listen to what that homeowner told us, speaking from behind her fence.
I'm frustrated too. I don't know what's happening. They say this is going on, and I get here and I don't even see a cop. So, it's a pretty quiet neighborhood. It's kind of shocking, but hey, things like this happen. We just have to, kind of.
And what the homeowner told me, that it's a quiet neighborhood. Several people who live in this area have echoed that exact same thing, that this is a quiet neighborhood. They heard a huge commotion, came out to check and see what was going on, and that's when they saw the heavy police presence. The homeowner also telling us that she's not familiar with, some of the people, and she's trying to, make sense of what happened here, trying to piece it together herself, but she's really looking for answers. She says she's just finding out from us who were here in front of her home. So we will have more from that homeowner and bring you the very latest on air and online. Reporting live in Hollygrove, Jonah Gilmore, WTSU News.
All right, Governor Jeff Landry just posting this statement to social media saying it's the final countdown. Thanks to our incredible state police for their continued dedication in taking these criminals off the street.
And Attorney General Liz Murrow also posted on X saying Antoine MASSEY has finally been recaptured in the Hollygrove area of New Orleans. He'll now face additional charges for his role in the escape, and I'll ensure that he will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Great work by all of our law enforcement partners, end quote from Attorney General Liz Murrow.
To stay up to date.
All right. Thank you so much for that, man. Appreciate you, brother. Marshall, that was good. Yeah, man, this is sad. Oh, well, I'm glad that they caught him. I apologize. Is it sad? Like, this lady's whole life is going to be turned upside down because of this. Again, it's kind of weird, though, how because it doesn't really make sense to me either, how the house was situated or the property is situated, that you have two units and you say one is in the back. I've never seen that, but it's a duplex. Usually duplexes are side by side, like shotgun style, I thought, but maybe one was in the back. I mean, maybe they build things differently. So hopefully she won't be like negatively impacted because of this, because I can imagine that would be pretty terrible. You are just trying to be an Airbnb owner and you done turned into a whole national situation. That's wild, but let me know what y'all think. Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate the $5 super. Appreciate it. This is fun, man. I was kind of sad that, I think I emailed Marshall last week or something, say, hey man, has the news stopped thinking about the Pookies? Like we need a Pookie update, because we know that they're gonna catch them accomplices. Them accomplices, you are going down. They might not catch all the Pookies, they might not catch Derrick Groves, but they're gonna get you, whoever booked the Airbnb. You gonna have a rough life. You're gonna have a rough life. they're going to hit you with that $2 million Uno reverse, do not get out of jail card. Come on now. Come on. Quadruple reverse. They're going to flip it on you. You try to help him out, and lo and behold, you in jail. That's craziness. But y'all, thank you so much. Appreciate you for the very fine, very kind $5 super. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all checking out the channel. And thank you so much for jumping in to the best live chat. I know it was kind of unannounced. I tried to give it a little bit of time, but once I saw this, I said, we got to get popping quick. So I try to make my thumbnail, get it out there. So thank y'all so much for rocking with me and getting over here. And I'll keep my ears to the ground. Marshall, I'm gonna send you my phone number so you can text me just in case I don't reply or you send me all these emails and I don't think I got them. Just shoot me a text, because it's very possible I went out sitting there talking to my wife, chilling, and I didn't even look at the email. But I want to say thank y'all again for rocking with me. Thank you so much for support of the channel. I'm glad y'all enjoying the great Pookie escape. Wait, I told you he was in an Airbnb. I believe that. I believe that. I was just like, but somebody boneheaded actually booked the Airbnb, and they're gonna go down. They're gonna be in the Angola B&B in a moment, or the Alligator Alcatraz B&B. Like, why would you do that? Like, that's so dumb. I'm sorry. I can't even. I have no sympathy for anybody that gets any of the accomplices. You get what you get, and you don't pitch a fit. You deserve that. You totally, unequivocally deserve that. There's no way around it. So, but thank y'all so much for rocking with us. I appreciate it again. And I'll keep my ears to the ground. Who knows? Maybe Derrick Rose will get caught tomorrow, maybe Sunday. Or maybe he'll hang out there till the end of the year. Who knows? I don't think he's gonna make it this long now, because now they got new energy, because they haven't caught anybody in a long time. So they got new invigoration to catch this guy. And I think they're gonna be like all over, but they're gonna start arresting all of his family, his third grade PE teacher going down, the dude that did driver's ed with him, he about to get arrested. The lady at Chipotle that made his burrito bowl, she about to catch it. Everybody going to jail. They gonna arrest this whole camp. I'm telling you right now. And they're gonna probably catch him before the end of the month. What's the end of the month? Monday or Tuesday? Yeah, they're gonna catch him, but it's gonna be interesting. So thank y'all so much for rocking. Let's do this again real soon. I'll keep my ears to the ground. I gotta finish my Fonnie Willis video I was editing before I did this. So let me go finish that. I'm gonna catch y'all real soon. Thank you so much for rocking with us. Until next time, everybody. Grace and peace.